love to make this session very interactive. So I really need your input as well. And other than that, I'm going to share my opinions. Like, this is all based on my experience, my opinion. So I also kind of invite you not to agree on everything. If you have like a different point of view, you can raise your hand and we can talk about it. No problem, okay? So it's up to you, of course, to participate, but I would definitely appreciate it, okay? So before we start, I would like that we do a little voting here. Usually I do that online, but I wasn't sure if the internet is good. So can you please write down, on, maybe on your smartphone or on a piece of paper, you can pick 3 of these skills. What do you think is the most important over the next 5 years? In the next 5 years, yeah. So you can pick 3 out of this, I think, 10 skills. Okay, so again, please pick 3 skills you think will be very relevant in the job market or in life over the next 5 years. So let's get maybe started. So I would kind of pick or name the skills, and I would kindly ask you to raise your hand so I know who's picking what. Complex problem solving. Who thinks is important? Again, you can choose 3, right? Complex problem solving? No one? Okay. Critical thinking? Okay. Creativity? Nice. Ladies, very good. People management? Okay. Negotiation? Okay. Coordinating with others? Okay. Good communicator? Okay. Judgment and decision making? All right. Emotional intelligence? Active listening? Good. So I think, again, I don't know the exact, I think critical thinking was high, creativity was high, emotional intelligence was high. I did this survey maybe 15,000 times in front of students. And it's funny to see, usually they pick like complex problem solving as the most important skill. But I think it's just because it sounds complex, because it starts with complex. Everybody thinks it's like very important. Of course, all these skills are very important, and if you are good in them, it's good for you, especially if in the labor market. But I personally believe, and if I have to pick one, I would choose emotional intelligence. Because in my opinion, emotional intelligence is the foundation of all the skills. You know, if you are really strong in emotional intelligence, you can actually be better in negotiation, because emotional intelligence means also that you understand others, and so on. If you're strong in emotional intelligence, you will be very strong in people management and coordinating with others, and so on, and so on, and so on. So that's why I actually would like to talk the next 5 to 10 minutes about emotional intelligence. So I have 2 copies. First copy to the one who can define me what is emotional intelligence. How would you describe or define emotional intelligence? Please?
It's when you have this ability.
And maybe we have the microphone is better, so perfect.
My English is not very
No
good,
problem.
but I'm going to try.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that emotional intelligence is when you can empathize
Yeah.
with the other person.
Okay.
And work together and
Compartir, okay. Share.
Share the feelings.
Okay.
And coordinate with how respecto a la labor que está haciendo.
Okay, very good. I mean, first of all, your English is good. Second of all, the definition was partially good. It was definitely, the second part was definitely good. But I'm missing a part. Can someone else give a shot? So it's definitely correct what you say, but I'm missing something there.
React well in different situations, for example, under pressure.
Okay, yeah, I mean, this is definitely correct, but not really the definition of what I'm looking for. But it's definitely a good try.
Well, I understand emotional intelligence like the capabilities we have to understand and comprehend emotions, and actually to have emotional responsibility. What we do with other people has a reaction to them.
Okay.
So we also have to be responsible for that.
Okay, but you said understanding emotions. Is that just your emotions or the emotions of others?
No, like the emotions of others. That's why I also said
Others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Others and yours, and how things that you will say or do, or actions that we must do together,
Yeah.
will impact to them too.
Okay. There you go. Joy. So, what's your name?
Sofía.
Sophia. What Sophia said is definitely understanding and building empathy with others, which is correct. Which is very, very important, and we are lacking that nowadays, you know. But it's important also that we understand ourselves. I say it like this: you cannot save the world if you are not in peace with yourself. You know, that's why it's very, very important that we first understand ourselves and know who we are before we can understand others. You know? So first we need to fix our own, let's say, garden, then we can maybe look at the garden of others. Okay? So that's basically the definition of Dr. Travis Bradbury. He says your ability to recognize and understand emotions and your skill at using this awareness to manage yourself and your relationship with others. Okay? And basically emotional intelligence has 4 pillars. One pillar is self-awareness. Second, self-management. Third is social awareness. And the fourth is relationship management. So I will give for each one example so that you understand maybe a bit better what I mean by that. Self-awareness is really that you are really investing time in yourself as well to understand who I am, what I really want, what can I do good, what are my strengths, but also what are my weaknesses, you know? So we are living in a very fast-paced society where we have every time planned things out. I'm pretty sure most of you have already planned for tonight or tomorrow with friends, etc., which is good. But I ask you, did you ever went for dinner with yourself? Did you invite yourself for dinner, for example? You know, just be alone, having some thoughts and discussing actually, hey, where I am with my life, where I want to take it, my life actually next year. Of course, you don't have this type of conversation with yourself every day, you know, but maybe once or twice a year, you want to ask this. Am I happy with what I'm doing? You know, I mean, you probably know, have friends, they talk about work, most of them, they just complain. But why? I mean, if you complain, I mean, you can, of course, complain, but do something about it. You know, because it doesn't help you if you're in an environment which is toxic, you cannot sleep or you don't feel happy, etc., but you continue it. Why? Because of a nice title or you earn money, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's very important that you understand what you want and that you chase more that if you want to have true happiness in life. Okay, so we need to spend a lot of time also with ourselves. Second, self-management. One thing is that you know what you like or what you don't like, but more important is that you do something about it. Again, I give you an example. Maybe you know you have some friends who are lifting you up. You come with an idea, hey, I thought maybe you can do this type of business. He listens to you or she listens to you and actually gives like constructive feedback and says, yeah, that sounds really good. But I'm pretty sure you have also friends or people in your environment, they are constantly negative. Each idea you bring, nah, it's not going to work. No, it's not going to work. Nah, forget about it. No, who you think you are. So it's up to you how much time you spend with whom. If you think the person is not good for you, then sometimes you need to make choice. That also goes for family members, you know. Like I'm not saying you shouldn't see your aunt or uncle never again, but again, be careful about, be attentive about it, you know. Maybe be there, but don't listen too much, because you know this person is anyway very negative. Third is social awareness. Does anyone knows how ambulances are written on the ambulance car actually? Backwards. You know why? Did you guys hear that? No. Can you please repeat, or maybe with the microphone?
But what was the question?
The question was, how is ambulance written on the ambulance car?
So it's written backwards, so when you look in your mirror, then you can read it right.
Again, thank you very much. So ambulance car, of course, from the sound, from the size, we know there is an ambulance car in the back. But I think it's a very good demonstration of what it means. Put yourself in others' shoes. You know, the ambulance car doesn't say, hey, I'm big, open the road. They thought, who's gonna read this ambulance is the person in the car in front of them. And how they look is they look in the mirror. So that's why it's like backwards. This is an example what it means, put yourself in others' shoes. You know, that you understand their people have also feelings, you know. So to give you another example, again, I worked many years in sales. What do you think the most important thing in sales is? Numbers? Crashing numbers, making sales? Relationship, yes. But at the end of the day, the company wants really the numbers. It's basically like Barcelona, you know, you need to bring the points. You know, if you don't win the games and bring the points, you have a problem. In sales, it's the same. Numbers, numbers, numbers. Of course, in the background, there's a lot of other things. So I was leading teams, you know, and then sometimes we were doing forecasts. Forecast is basically you asking the numbers, how is the sales going, blah, blah, blah. So normal business meeting. But sometimes I was sitting in a one-to-one. I saw in front of me an employee kind of with his or her mind lost. Of course, I can go with my agenda, kind of, hey, give me the numbers, give me an update, give me this, give me that. But I didn't see a point to have my business discussion there. Because I knew whatever I will talk, this person will be lost anyway, because mentally this person wasn't in the room. Physically, yes, but mentally not. So thank God I started my career in sales, because in sales I learned to ask why. You know, to understand the reason. So sometimes I was asking, hey, is something going wrong, or is everything okay with you? And because there was a certain trust, they could speak up. For example, hey, I need to change the flat, and I have just 1-2 more days, and I didn't find anything. So for me, it was more important that this person fix that problem and comes back to the office. So I had the luxury, because I was the manager, to give him a day off. I was giving this person a day off. Do your busy, like private stuff, fix that, come back to work tomorrow. And that person, and like if you do this type of things, they become more loyal. And at the end of the day, it's a human being, you know. I mean, they have like certain needs. Of course, business is important, but there are more urgent needs in the world or in the people. And if you don't understand them, if you just come with your agenda, boom, we're going to discuss numbers, or we're going to discuss just what I'm interested, you're not going to go long ways if you don't hook up with the others, with their mentality and with their feelings. Okay, that's why it's very important that you always try to understand also the opposite side. Sometimes it's very difficult, especially it's very difficult with people maybe you don't like. You know, also in business, you have sometimes people you don't like, but you need to work together. Then it's important that you put that feeling aside that you don't like. I mean, it's also a feeling, but you put that aside and try to understand the opposite person. Guys, so far so good? Okay? And then relationship management. Relationship management is basically what you are doing with your connection, with your friends. I give you the example. Now almost 15 years ago, I started my career in Ireland. At Oracle, we had like 500 people. When I started there, we had like 3 weeks of kind of a boot camp where we had like a lot of product trainings. In that training, we had like 60, 70 people. And 4 or 5 of them, like 3 weeks, they were very close to me. And then we were in the breaks, we were talking, or we were doing some exercises together. So after 15 years, I'm still in touch with them. You know, of course, nowadays with LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, it's not that I every time write them. But if they have a friend, or if they have a cousin, or if they want to work in Barcelona, I'm the first person they are coming to. But vice versa as well. If some of them are in France, some of them in Canada, if I have something to do in Canada, I will ping them. You know, but it's again how you keep your relationships. You know, that you don't forget. I mean, you all went to school, to university. I'm pretty sure you all have already certain work experiences. What you are doing with your connections. You know, and I think LinkedIn is a powerful tool that you can keep easily in contact with people. You know, so that's why also relationship management is very, very important. That you keep in touch with the people you know. Okay? So that's basically the 4 pillars of emotional intelligence. Any questions so far? So far, so good? Okay. So, now, how to increase emotional intelligence? Any ideas? Going to a workshop of Mustafa Toga?
Getting out of our hopes.
Getting out of our hopes. Explain me that, please.
Connecting with other people and making a lot of mistakes. I don't know.
No, that's correct, but why you say hope?
Home, I think.
Home, yeah, okay. So it's very good definition. Getting out of the comfort zone, very, very important. You know, again, I'm not sure if anyone is have the mother tongue English here, but you came here listening a workshop in English. You know, it's also something. Of course, it would be easy if it's in Catalan or Spanish. No, but very, very good definition. What else, guys? What else would you think? Please? Yeah, definitely. Self-awareness comes first, absolutely. Show interest in other people's, yeah? Absolutely. Listening, showing this is really empathic listening, basically. You know, not just listening to give an answer, really listening to understand and then give an answer. Absolutely, always. Be after the why. What else? Any other ideas?
Understanding
Human
human behavior.
behavior. Can you describe that a little bit?
Yes, for example, learning what could cause any colleagues or friends to increase their effectiveness and their productivity in a company or in a business that we're trying to start.
So trying to learn from others, or?
Trying to understand how to bring out the best out of them.
Okay, how to motivate them and then how to, push them to the next level, basically. Very good. Anyone else? You basically said almost everything, you know. Understanding the self-awareness comes first. Again, we really need to understand ourselves before we save the world. And I think feedback is very, very important. And I just want to do a little game. Can you put your finger in front of you, please? So please don't move your eyes, but move your finger to a certain point where you don't see your finger anymore. You know? This is called the blind spot. And we all got our blind spot. The blind spot is we cannot see, but others may see it. And the only way to discover our blind spot is asking feedback. You know, so for example, maybe you feel every time nervous giving presentations. You can ask a friend, hey, I'm going to give a presentation. Can you please note down how I am actually performing. And then if it's like a really good friend, he takes the time, or she, and then writes down. And after the presentation, you sit down 10, 15 minutes. And says, yeah, you did like really, the slides were amazing, very understandable, but you moved a lot with your hand. Maybe next time you move a little bit less, because it felt like you were a little bit like nervous, etc. But again, if you never ask for feedback, the person, again, sometimes people don't want to give feedback if they aren't asked, you know, because it's in some cultures it's impolite. So that's why we be always interested in feedback. Also try to give feedback, but ask first, hey, would you mind if I give you feedback? Maybe somebody is not up to it. And you say, no problem. But if you constantly seek for feedback, you will definitely unfold some of your blind spot. Not all of them. Because also there are a couple of capabilities we can do, other people cannot see. But certain things they can see. And again, only way to unfold them is asking feedback. Again, simply everyday practice. Be interested in others, talk to others, have a little chat here, have a little chat there, and so that you make it to a habit that you talk to others. Leaning into discomfort, leaving our home. That was exactly that what we heard as well. And that you have a reminder system. And I really liked your definition because again, if we want to really grow, we need to leave our safe harbor. We all got our safe harbors, be it our home, be it our family, whatever it is. But if you really want to grow, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You know, at the beginning is we fear, we find excuses. I don't know if I should do it. There is like a certain anxiousness, etc., etc. But if you really lean into it, you will learn and you will grow and you will find the self-motivation to continue your path. Okay? I found it quite interesting actually that I leave home like a home for me is like Cologne, Köln in Germany. All my friends from back in the days, they are still there. It's also okay. I mean, it's their life. They need to do what they want to do. But for me, it was like, I want more. I want to see more. You know, and I wanted always to travel and see other things, you know. And then I started to travel very early in my life. I was always working part-time somewhere, saved money, and then next flight. So I think for me, it helped a lot, the travelings, to get out of my comfort zone and to learn, you know. You learn from other cultures, you learn from other people, but I had also in these travelings a lot of me time, which is also again important, because sometimes you ask these key questions, and I'm 42, I had like maybe 3-4 times in my life this type of questions, where it was kind of, yeah, should I go this path or this path? And I needed like a clear mind to make my move. And this helped me a lot, okay? So far so good? Then let's come to a video. I want to share a video with you and then actually close that chapter, why I think emotional intelligence is important. I hope it will work. Good. Thank you for your patience. First question. How do you feel about it? Hmm.
You ask ChatGPT question about, I don't know, Franco or something. You have heard the word Barcelona'23. During Franco, it says this didn't happen. Or I asked ChatGPT, can you give me the recipe of the hot curry from Honest Greens? And he gave me a recipe from
Something. Yeah.
So I don't think it's true that artificial intelligence will all the job. What is your opinion about it?
I think it's quite fresh, that topic. I mean, over the next years, we're going to see how things develop and how we actually as a society accept certain changes, you know. And coming back to my question, I would like to have a couple of feelings of you guys. What do you feel when you see this type of information volcano, let's say? How did you feel about it? Overwhelmed? What else? Any other feelings?
That video was made 6 years ago, so it's a bit worried. I'm a bit worried now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this video is actually, I saw it actually also a couple of years ago, and I was also my first, when I asked this, again, a lot of people fear, and a lot of people are overwhelmed, like myself, and I said, poor engineer students, you know, whatever learned they today is like outdated in a couple of days. Now, trying to connect the dots. In life or in business, there is one constant. Does anyone know? Change. Absolutely. We will encounter every time changes. It will happen every time. But how we react to it, that's the key question. Do you see a change as an opportunity? Because you went many times out of your comfort zone and you know that new things bring new opportunities? Or do you like your comfort zone because you fear certain things and you don't like changes? In companies, you will see that. There will be always changes, always. New direction, new CEO, new whatever. Okay? But you will have two types of people. One like really enjoying the change because, hey, what is new for me? What is in for me? What can I learn? Or, no, I don't want that change. But we cannot stop. We cannot stop ChatGPT, whatever will come. Okay? I think another important point is, that's my personal opinion. Of course, there are apps, they can read your face, can maybe see if you're happy or not. But I think a robot cannot have emotional intelligence, in my opinion. Okay, I just give you one example and then I will close that chapter, the first chapter, and then we have the other chapter. I worked 10 years for PTC, for this company, and sometimes we had like from students from universities coming even from abroad. One day we had like, I think maybe half of this size people from Russia, you know, and they wanted to know about Barcelona and job opportunities, blah, blah, blah. And they had a very tough day. They just arrived at that day. And I had my slot, I don't know, like after a couple of hours, you know, and before me, some other people were presenting the company, this and that. I came into the room, and for me, the connection is very important. Because if I don't see your eyes or that you're interested, it's very boring here. You know, because I want to transmit something. That's why I'm here. But if I see, no, there is no connection, I'm really demotivated. So I'm asking myself what I'm doing wrong. You know, so in this class I came, I don't know if it's by 11 a.m. or whatever, like the people were like kind of like dead, they weren't there. I looked at them and I wanted to move something. I said to, hey guys, how was your day so far? And they really literally came with the bus and then they had like very rushing day. They were basically very tired. I said to them, you know what, go out, have a fresh air for 10, 15, 20 minutes. If you want to smoke, smoke. If you want to eat, eat. Whatever you do, we're going to start in 20 minutes. I swear to God, the whole thing changed. You know, the agenda and the presentation. I don't think a robot can understand. Like, I mean, sometimes you just go into a room, you can feel the energy. If you're strong in emotional intelligence, of course. And that's why I think emotional intelligence is very important. And if you want to make yourself, I don't know the right word for that, irreplaceable, then be strong in emotional intelligence. Because companies will need leaders with strong emotional intelligence. Okay? So that was the first part of the presentation. Now I think we have like 12 minutes or so. I don't want to rush, but I want to move a little bit like quicker in this one. And I will try to define dream job. So for that I have another video, but this one is a bit shorter. Let's check this. So, also here, quick question. How is your feeling when you see this young lady performing? Any emotions in you? Actually, I think we have a coach here, dance teacher. What do you think when you see her?
I see power, I see happiness, plenitude. I would say she's fulfilled.
Fulfilled, definitely.
Yeah.
Power, happiness, fulfillment. What else do you guys see? Energy. Full of. She's definitely having fun. And for me, it was the first, let's say, the word what came out of my mind was joy. I mean, she's definitely enjoying. I mean, it's a hard thing. I mean, she's a dance teacher. She probably knows there's a lot of practice, a lot of discipline. She had an injury. It's an interesting story. You can read it. And again, we're talking about dream job, right? And I think dream job is when you really do what you are passionate and talented at. You know, it's a hard question to know it. But again, we have a life journey, and I really wish for you guys that you are trying or that you're going for that search, whatever passion, whatever talent you have. Because if you don't do it, you will be doing some work and maybe never really have that joy, you know? And also sometimes maybe you have a joy or passion for something, but you can make it to a work. But in that case, you need to ask yourself, do I allow enough time for that? You don't need to always convert your talent and your joy and passion for work, but you need to spend time to be happy, you know? And if you ask me, and actually there is also one thing I saw in a movie, a Bronx of Tape, where in the movie you can see the son of Robert De Niro is a baseball fan, and he asked in this scene his father, Robert De Niro, "Father, can I be a baseball player?" And this was the response of Robert De Niro, which was really branded in my mind. I saw this movie, I think, 30 years ago. You can be anything you want to be. Remember, the sad thing in life is wasted talent. You could have all the talent in the world. If you don't do the right thing, nothing will happen. Good news, we all, and you all got talent. Bad news, some people are like Messi, everybody knows his talent, and he actually directly knew it as well. For some people, it's not directly seen. So you need to go for that search, where you are talented, okay? So now, yeah, I don't have time. If you look at some numbers, this is, I think, from 2016 in a study in the US, how much time we spend. So I am not here to argue with you how much time you should spend on Instagram. I use also Instagram. That's not my business. But if people ask, I don't have time, I say, Albert Einstein had also just 24 hours a day. It's about prioritization, certain things. You know, like just 2.5 hours on these 3 apps without calculating even Netflix, etc. That's probably 4 or 5 hours if you also put TikTok on it. But again, it's not my business to judge how much social media is good or not. But ask yourself, where do I spend my time? You know? Again, if you don't know, again, spend some time with yourself. I would definitely recommend that you go for backpacking. It doesn't need to be every time like Bolivia, Australia, whatever. You can also go here in Catalonia, you know? So, but that you take the time, that you go out. And also there is a saying in Turkish, who knows more, the one who studied or the one who traveled? This is what my mama was always telling me. And based on that saying is the one who traveled actually. But I was saying always to my mama, Mama, I traveled and I studied, so I must be a smart guy, you know? So again, we can learn something here, but there's also a lot of out there we can learn from other people, from the nature, etc. Okay. So, and then sooner or later you will have your first job, and we all want to chase money, we all want to chase titles, we all want to have the apartment, this car, and this, the society, how it works, right? So, but you need to ask yourself, is that really making you happy? Is that really what I want? You know, because unfortunately a lot of people think we're going to be that old. I drive since 13 years a scooter in Barcelona. Like this, I can be involved in an accident and maybe gone, bye-bye. But if that happened, I will ask myself, hey Musa, did you live your life you wanted or the life you wanted? For me, it's absolutely yes. I hope it will be the same for you, that you really do the things, because nobody guarantees that we're going to be 80, 90 years. Again, money can be a big motivator, but it's not everything in life. So really ask yourself, what is your drive? What is your motivation? The ex-CEO of Coca-Cola put it that way. Imagine in life you have like 4 or 5 balls. You know, he said like family, health, friends, and spirit is from glass. If you drop it once, it's very hard to fix it. But work is like a rubber ball. I don't know if you know, these little balls are from gum. You put it, it comes back. You lose a job today, sooner or later you're going to find another job. But you mess with your spirit, with your health, it's very, very hard. There was an Australian nurse. She was accompanying people who were really about to die, so you couldn't cure them anymore. They had like maybe 1 week, 10 days or 2 weeks to go, to live. And this is the 5 regrets of dying people. She wrote actually a book about that. You know? I wish I live a life true to myself, not the life others expect of me. I wish I hadn't worked so much. I wish I expressed my feelings. I stayed in touch with my friends. I had let myself be happier. Nobody says, I wish I had this title. I wish I have these things. Again, we are talking about how to land your dream job. Now I'm talking about this type of things, but trust me, if you really want to be happy, this type of things are also very important. Okay? And finally, my last slide, it is really in your hand what you do out of this and out of your life. And I definitely wish you all the best on your journey to find your talent, to find your passion, and to do something which you really love and enjoy doing it, you know, and that you don't be afraid taking risk and not being afraid getting out of the comfort zone and trying something totally new. I don't know if we have enough time or for a couple of minutes. Finish?
It's finished.
Okay, guys, then I will be still around if somebody has any questions, but if you want to stay in touch, this is my contacts, and I hope you could take a couple of takeaways here. For me, it was important that I could give a couple of question marks in your mind. I hope I accomplished this mission. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.